Hello and welcome to True Tarot. Um, I may be changing the name of this channel actually. This is a channel that is we do true crime and we might even delve into some reality topics via, talk about reality shows that are currently going on because I thought that would be fun, but if you are like me and little obsessive about true crime, then welcome. And what I do here is I am a tarot reader. So I will delve into some unsolved things and some questions that I think are relevant to said case. In these cases, I find on the internet or Netflix or Hulu or wherever. And I will always mention that. And I will always find a YouTube video that is a deep dive on the case because I spend a little time talking about the case. And, then we do the tarot on it. So let's get into it. We're talking about Sarah Grace Patrick today. So I am from Georgia. Well, that's where I live now. I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta, and this is a case that is big in Atlanta, but I've seen it all over social media. You can find a lot of buzz going on about it on TikTok, and this is early days in this case, for real. So we will probably revisit it at some point, but who is Sarah Grace Patrick? Well, she is 17 and she has been accused of killing her mother and her stepfather while they were sleeping. James and Kristen Brock. So there's a lot of press going on about this. She is being held without bond. The story is that they were both shot, I believe, in the head. I'm not really sure, but those details aren't really even important. But they were in bed. So it wasn't like a self-defense sort of thing. They were sleeping. And the authorities believe that it's Sarah Grace because they've arrested her, right? So the little sister found them. I think she's 6 years old, because she had heard. Now, James Brock had a health condition to which he was on a monitor, I believe a heart monitor. He was waiting for a transplant, and she heard the monitor go off. And so that is why she was alerted to trouble going on with the parents. And she found the parents, which is really icky. Think about it, a 6-year-old. And Sarah Grace was there also and said she didn't hear the shots, that she didn't hear anything. And people find that very suspicious. And I don't know. I mean, we don't know, like, they could have muffled the gun or there could have been, I don't know that there would be a silencer on it, but it's possible. And so as it stands now with Sarah Grace, she has been denied bail. They believe that she is a flight risk. And there's so much information and misinformation, as I'm sure there is with every single case, right? But the authorities claim to have a lot of information. I've heard something about that there are Google searches from her, looking into how to unalive a person. I don't know what, and this whole unaliving versus killing, okay, but whatever. Language always. So there is that, and then there is the fact that a month after this happened, well, first of all, when she gave a eulogy for them, she apologized, and that seems to be something big to everyone. I think it's possible that that's not what she was apologizing for, and then there's the fact that she has been on social media asking true crime creators to cover this case and or look into it, and she has been on there. Her account has since been taken down, but she was posting tearful messages and pictures and everything, and she's really been judged for that, which I honestly find that to be unfair, because she's 17 and she's essentially still a child, and children grieve differently. And we live in such a world where nothing is off limits when it comes to social media. Everyone is on there posting their every move in life. Not me, but a lot of people, most people, and so I did watch the hearing for her bail hearing, in which, now this is very curious, and I did see a podcaster express some question about other family members, but Sarah Grace, also some guilt has been inferred because she turned herself in. The father convinced her to turn herself in because there was a warrant for her. So, she didn't turn herself in because she was admitting to any guilt. I think that probably usually it's better that you turn yourself in rather than they come and get you in some sort of situation, right? And I have seen several people call Sarah Grace a psychopath. I don't know. It seems like they have just convicted this girl, so I don't know what the history is with her. I have seen some inferences to mental health issues with Sarah Grace, but I don't know that for sure. We don't know anything for sure. The sister was the one who, testified at her bail hearing, and the sister hasn't even been in touch with them in years. So then you start to have people inserting themselves maybe for a little airtime, a little fame. This is what I feel happens in a lot of cases. And I even felt this with the Amy Bradley case, like these people coming out the woodwork with sightings all of a sudden. Because I feel a lot of times people want their 15 minutes of fame, So what do I think? I watched her at this hearing, and she was visibly sobbing in the hearing, and that wasn't faked. If that's coming out of a fear of going to jail, I don't know. I did pull some cards just for Sarah Grace herself. And I do see some struggle within her emotionally, but it's hard to tell if this is struggle because she's 17 and all 17-year-olds kind of struggle with their emotions, or there's more to it. What was interesting to me is that Handcuffs is here, Bonfire, and Flamingos, which is about lovers. I feel like she has feelings for another person. I do feel as if we might find out about a boyfriend type of thing, and that there could be something like they're being kept apart, or maybe her parents wanted to keep them apart. There's that energy. So that was kind of surprising to me because none of that has been mentioned at all. And yeah, but as far as Sarah Grace goes, I do feel as if she struggles with emotions. We have new moon in Taurus, know your worth, first quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Um, and this could just be her struggling right now. You know, she questions her feelings a lot. She seems to really struggle emotionally. And especially like if her emotions lead to actions, and they may lead to impulsive actions that she later regrets, but she also questions her feelings a lot, you know, and things end up working out despite it, is basically what it's saying. I mean, deep dive is here with turn away. So there's definitely something here that she doesn't want to face. There definitely is. And there is a rebellious nature to her, you know, which it does seem here as if it's just part of a finding yourself kind of thing. I do kind of feel like rebellion might have led to some things for her. So we're going to take a look into, I don't know, is Sarah Grace guilty? And some of the various topics, like why did she, you know, post so much about this? It is believed by authorities that she was trying to cover up her crimes and that she is an attention seeker, that she could have done this for wanting attention. But I mean, it's hard to imagine that, but I believe that that's possible, you know. So let's dive in. So first, I kind of want to look at the sister's motives because she came out of nowhere and she seems to be very vocal. She's created a Facebook group. It's gotten really crazy. So what are the sisters' motivations? James' sister. Ten of Wands. Okay. James' sister. What is motivating James' sister? What is motivating James' sister? I mean, she very much is in fight mode. Very much. But I do feel as if I don't see anything sneaky here with her. It does feel as if she wants this to be over, right? She wants completion here. But she does want answers. And she's willing to fight for them, apparently. Tell me about the Seven of Wands. The Tower. The Moon. The Devil. Yeah, there are so many unknowns here. You know, she probably does believe that Sarah Grace is the devil here, right? But I do feel like even she is unsure to, even though she's talking a lot of stuff, especially about Sarah Grace, that she is unsure about what happened. Like, even, I don't think she's totally convinced that Sarah Grace did it. Because I feel like she thinks addiction might have had something to do with it. And it has been said that the Brocks have a history, like they have a history with drugs. Whether that was still in their life, I don't know. Um, but yeah, so let's see what the devil is about. What's the devil? Judgment, the truth, King of Cups. Yeah. I mean, she does, and she did love her brother. And she does just want to uncover the truth. Well, let's see why they were estranged. That could be a good question, right? And her name is Kim. So why was Kim and James estranged from each other? Why hasn't she spoken to them in years? What's that about? Okay. Temperance, Chariot. I feel like she moved maybe to get her life together. And yeah, the Emperor. And as much as like the estrangement was on both sides. So I kind of feel like there's a possibility that she kept waiting for him to meet her halfway, but maybe he was very stubborn. So strangely enough, I think that it's possible that the estrangement between James and his sister might have been more on his part. Like he wanted her to stay away. Why is that? How did James feel about Kim? How did James feel about Kim? Ooh. Ugh. He felt she made bad choices. Strength and Seven of Cups. Wow. And basically didn't like the people that she surrounded herself with. Well, well, well. That's interesting, isn't it? So I don't actually think that James was interested in reconciling with his sister. So what I said. So, does the sister have any guilt in this situation? Does the sister have any guilt in this situation? Very interesting. The Page of Pentacles reversed with the Sun and the Fool. Page of Pentacles reversed kind of, for me, talks about not learning your lesson. And it feels to me too like the reason that she's so invested in this is because like it's almost like her chance to reconcile or to make things right was taken away from her. So maybe she's angry. So let's look into Sarah Grace. And remember what I said, we will probably revisit this as more comes out. You know, let's for one thing, let's see if the cops actually do have a mountain of evidence like they claim. Do the cops have a lot of evidence against Sarah? Do they have a lot of evidence against Sarah? Oh, boy. Do they have a lot of evidence against Sarah? Okay. The Star, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Three of Swords. I mean, they could have something in regards to her text messages or even words from other people. But it feels like it's still developing with the Star. Yeah, the Hangman and the Six of Wands. I so much feel, because the Page of Swords can be gossip, I feel like a lot of the evidence that they have are things that other people have said. And particularly, it could be that these other people don't want to testify or don't want to be involved, but they have information maybe about her state of mind. The Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords, and also there seems to be a lot about Sarah wanting to break free. And that really kind of plays into her rebellious attitude. But let's see more about Sarah Grace. Because the Page of Swords is kind of troublesome for me. Jeez, you hear that? Because it feels very much like hearsay. So let's get into Sarah Grace and why she was asking podcasters to help her. Why was she posting so much online? Sarah Grace. Page of Wands, the King of Wands, the Seven of Wands. Because I feel as if it's like there are things that are not being looked at, in her opinion. Like there's something that they're not seeing. And what is that? Queen of Cups reversed. Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Like this could be about a person. Like the Queen of Cups reverse usually is someone being taken advantage of, right? And it's like there's loss here, and it's right next to the Nine of Pentacles. So I don't know if there was some theft of money or something to do with money. So tell me about the King of Wands. The King of Wands. Four of Swords. Three of Wands. Yeah, I feel like there's someone that they haven't looked at who took advantage of them or who was getting money from them. And they could have, you know, said they weren't going to do this anymore. Let's find out if Sarah Grace is guilty, because there also seems to be a lot here about her rebellious nature and her wanting to break free. So is Sarah Grace guilty? Is Sarah Grace guilty? Eight of Wands. The Eight of Swords. And the Star. I feel like she did want to break free, but I feel like she feels guilty. Is Sarah Grace guilty? The Wheel of Fortune. There's going to be an unexpected chain of events. The Tower. Two of Cups, the Sun, and the Knight of Wands. So there's going to be something coming out. Now, could this be like another person or a cheating situation or something? It could be, because we have the Two of Cups here. Could Sarah Grace have killed her parents to be with someone? That's also possible. Because there's a lot here that says that she felt trapped in the situation. Like maybe in her home, you know, like they wouldn't let her do what she wanted to do. She couldn't do what she wanted to do. So it's just unclear for me whether she's guilty or not. But it does feel as if there will be information that comes out. About a relationship. So is that about Sarah Grace's relationship? Is it about a relationship that one of the parents had? That's highly possible. Highly possible, and I think we just don't know yet. But let's see what the takeaway is. What is the takeaway? I know, it just creates more questions, right? What is... Ooh, King of Cups. What is the takeaway? King of Cups, Four of Cups, Five of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. I don't know if there's more people involved, but it kind of says that someone is going to come forward that brings understanding. So there could be a King of Cups. Because it does feel as if there is a missing piece here that is going to, like with the Nine of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, bring balance to the situation. Meaning, you know, there is someone here bringing information. And the Five of Wands usually is people fighting. So it feels like there are a whole lot more people involved, which is interesting. What is the Five of Wands telling us? And I feel like that's like the takeaway, is that there's something here that no one is seeing. Like they're missing the story. Tell us about the Five of Wands. Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's going to be some information. Tell us about the Five of Wands. Page of Swords, Three of Swords, Eight of Wands. Like there's information, and there's information that's coming to light about some sort of fighting or discourse. Can even be jealousy, but there are more people involved. There are more pieces to this puzzle. So that will be interesting to see how all that plays out. And I know maybe it seemed like it didn't give a lot of answers, but I think the answers are yet to show themselves. So that's what I have for you. I hope it really helps. Toodles.